Okay, basses, before we start singing on There Was a Tree, let's mark some things so that we just get some issues out of the way. On page 3, the top of the page, those 3 staves are for soprano, alto, tenor, okay? And that's in the middle of the page as well. At the bottom of page 3, all of a sudden you're in. So at the end of the middle system on page 3, please make some sort of note about like entrance or something that's going to alert you that as soon as you get to the bottom system, you need to start singing. And we'll get to that in a second of how that plays out. And then bottom of the page, between measure 30 and 31 on limb, please write in some counts. So like maybe you write for the first beat, you write 1, and then you write 1, 2, 3 for the dotted half after that. I know I have an arrow in my part, but I want to make sure that you actually count it, okay? And then turning the page, it's much quicker this time, before you take off again. Same thing, middle of page 4 on woods, please write 1, 2, 3, and then draw the next downbeat 1 in the valley below. So you're ready to do that. In the second bar there, which is measure 36, in the valley, the is an F natural. We'll talk about that in a second, but please circle that note if you haven't already. And then on page 5, measure 45, the second system, bow is 2 beats, so write 1, 2. Then I would just circle those 3 rests. So you're gonna have bow, rest, 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 for the bird was on the bough, rest, for the bird was on the bough. So that we're just kind of making ourselves keep track of that counting a little bit more clearly. Okay, so we're going back to page 3, which is where you make your first entrance. And the way you're going to get this is the sopranos go, there was a bow, and you're right after that. There was a bow. Oops, I played the wrong note. That's the idea. And then you're holding limb. So let's get in right there. I'm going to give you their lead in. 1, 2. And the bow was on the limb. 1, 2, 3. And go. 1, 2, 3, 1. And it's really tempting to make those low, low, lows at the end of the second system short, but we drew in arrows because we want them to be long. Let's go to that F natural, the second bar in the middle of the page. The normal one is in the vel. This is in the vel. Sing that one. Ready, go. Again. A little faster. Ready, go. And again. Okay, sing the regular one again. 1, 2, go. The new one. Okay, we're gonna have to really hone in on that. If it's not perfect, just keep your ears out. Maybe if you're like unsure of how to sing it, you could drop it out for now so that you don't program in the wrong version. Let's do that chunk again, guys. And then we're gonna keep going. So we're at the bottom of 3 again, where you come in. Remember the sopranos give you a little lead in. Here that goes. One, 2, 3, 1. One, 2, 3. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1. One, 2, rest, rest, rest. Rest. Go. 1, 2. Okay, so let's nail down a couple of those things. So if on page 5 you do for the the bird was on the bough at the top. Then, middle of the page, the entrance you have is, for the bird was on the bough, an octave down. Then you go back up the octave, for the bird was on the bough. So you go upper octave, lower, back to upper to take it to the end. So let's go at the top of 5, last bar, for the bird was on the bough, which is going to sound like, okay? Here we go. To rest down an octave, rest. Okay, let's do that one more time. Same exact thing. And 1. 1, 2, rest, rest, rest. Rest. Go. Think about the next note. Okay, so let's just make sure we have that C in bar 53. When you go from valley below and then low, okay? So you're the last few notes at the top of the page. Valley, ready, go. Hold the next note. Okay, and I think a big detail right there is that you need to also be ready to sing the upper octave, which happens immediately after. So when you come in on that low, make sure you're ready to pop up to that higher C. Let's do the same spot again. Valley, ready, and. All right, dudes, feel free to go back and redo any parts of this, or I think there's one time I went through the whole thing, so find that spot, question mark?